Так. Ждем картиночки, сейчас она проявится. И добрый вечер. Вы на канале пожилого геймера. Сегодня мы продолжаем проходить игру. Блять, сука, я опять сейчас забыл. Мы продолжаем проходить игру Vampyr, ну, либо вампир по-русски. Это наша какая часть? Это наша вторая часть прохождения. Никакой реакции я от вас не увидел. Да, вот не увидел я от вас реакции никакой. Чуть громче сейчас микрофон добавлю. Вот. Короче, ну, продолжим прохождение. Посмотрим, что тут как что крутится. Может, со второй, ну, может, с этой части ее больше компана понравится, ну, то есть зайдет. Так что всем добро пожаловать, всем приятного просмотра, а я буду продолжать. Так, минутку я микрофон подрихтую, вот где-то вот, раз, ну да, где-то вот так мы рихтанем, нормально будет. Так вот, просто заебок. Да, заебумба просто. Бумба-бумба, заебумба. Пембургская. Значит, мы находимся в Пембургской больнице. Да, короче, мы 5-й уровень. Сейчас я один момент. Голос хочу свой послушать. Как он звучит. Ребятки, сейчас один моментик. А где здесь? А где на рестриме что-нибудь? Вот. Сейчас uno momento. Вот. Сейчас uno momento. Вот. Сейчас uno momento. Раз. Раз. Не, нормально, голос я свой слышу. Извиняюсь за дубль, за задвоение. Нужно было проверить, чтобы все было прекрасно. Да, теперь можно и продолжить.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Какому?
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor.
I cannot
have patience
enter.
to attend.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Спасибо, я пошел. Старая пила. получается.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right, получается. All right.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Образец разбавленный чистой кровью. Ну, боевая система примитивная, но так себе. Ну, играть. Ну да, наипримитивнейшая боевая система, а так. Концовая груза. Ай. Скуги. Никак не привыкну к управлению. Требуется в маске, я понял. Требуется в маске, ну да, так и надо делать. Коронавирус все-таки требуется в маске.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
Надо бы читать,
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Я в стриме сделаю, ну короче, найду.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Сестра Крейн, я пошлю. Крейн. Короче, немножко за кадром я так, ну, вернее, не играл. Скажу одну такую вещь по поводу Dying Light 2. Ну, в кооперативе будет заебись проходить.
Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off.
My pussy
But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Won't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak, but be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
You disgust on every street corner. Daily
Бумажек. О, какая девочка хорошая.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the
Я
Pembroke Hospital.
приставала ебучая.
And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh,
О, доступна новая подсказка.
you can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Требуется.
I'm assuming you must be a
Вы
patient here.
находитесь на лечении
Am I
в
right,
психиатрической больнице.
It's only a cover. To
Дальше
hide from my
прячься от
enemies.
врагов.
I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Туман или летучий лес.
Who are these enemies you mentioned?
Вы можете?
Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure,
Даже не знаю.
but I sense their eyes on me from nearby.
Каждый раз.
I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women
Ой, я
who hunt me.
извиняюсь, что чихнул
For
так
I
сильно.
am a vampire.
I see.
Громко было.
Don't worry.
Громко.
These people will not
прекрасно.
find you here. I'll
На таком
personally
уровне,
make sure they leave you
с
alone.
такими
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Зафаршмачил геймпад. Ложная цель.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require?
Разве этого мало?
Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Хоть школу ебашит, блядь, просто ебаш. Пидорасят меня просто.
I'll leave you, mistress of the dark,
Не
to
буду
your
вмешиваться в
nocturnal
ваши обряды,
activities.
королева вампир. Так, ну короче, погнали на
A
основной.
giant morgue disguised as a hospital.
Снимай,
But nowadays,
Я был. Ты кто?
here again.
Не, нахуй, іди ти. Це таке не прикол. Я тут не могу тепешкаться. Я тут, получается, мне объебали мои способности. Короче, нахуй. Короче, объебали мои. Вот тут нормально, мои способности. Не, способности мне что-то не объебали. Это было рода ничьи. Вполне хороший микрос. Ну и этот на первое время нормально. Ну посмотрим. Патрон, картечь. Вампрас. Теневые занавесы. Старый морг. 300. Найти тартат железа. Тетрат. Нужно найти то, что лутаться. Да, пацаны? Давай полутаться им. А мы еще найдем, чтобы лутаться. Так, у меня есть пожилое чутье. Получается, да, пацаны? Да, у меня есть пожилое железо. Оп. Шпилинги. Я шпилинги спиздил, вот просто шпилинги. Шпилинги. Требуется. Уах, нихера. Вот, пацаны, надо. Вот. Сам бить. Бросать. О, пидора!
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Нету парирования, жалко. Биллинги, шиллинги, ох, нихера. Катрейч. Катрейч это надо.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Дверь отперта. Бродячий скаль.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Нормально, дупцуемся, пацанчики. Вот тут где-то. Хозяин.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Получили новый тип оружия для левой. Выберите его, чтобы положить кровь. Стоп, новый тип оружия. Стеклят натрия мне надо найти. Стеклят натрия. Давай утку полутаем, утку. Утка полутаться. Татрат железа, значит. Таратат железо, тарахтат. Тарахтат железо, значит. О, пират, Джон Доу. Ля.
Skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Изготовить средства от переутомления. Ну да, нормально, загадочный рецепт. О, простуда, бронхит и пневмония. Перманганат, значит. Це такое требуется. Образец разбавленной крови. О, сыворотка крови. Сиворотка получается. Сиворотка. Нормально, Маша. Хорош, шляпа. Подхулякала. И лекарство плату отдать дурочек. Дороти. О, тетрад железа я наебашил, гля. Тетрад. Нормальненько. Я хочу быть турбодоктором. Вот. Дороти Гандел. Город Гандел. Нормально, Дороти Гандел. А, все, я открыл ворота, требуется.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing. Dr. Reed, may I help you?
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
Let's go down Swansea. Ah, whoa.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived.
Но положение
But
было
we had no other
критическое.
choice.
Нам надо было
Considering the
куда-то
state of
этого
emergency.
мудака спать.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Этого хуя вылечить.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
My sweet girl.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, Sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
There was disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now, eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve. But I must admit, he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reid. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Ну-ка, как лечить?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
I have other concerns right now, Doctor. But I'm fine, thank you.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reid, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Прикольно. Как, сука, скучно, блядь, пиздец.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edward.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Пока сюжет как-то скучненько развивается. Пока он как-то скудненько. Называется он слишком скудный. Скудненько. Вот просто скудненько развивается. Я думал, будет экшон, будет там это, а тут хуета какая-то.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Почему парашу? Я как бы
Now
не
do me a
знаю.
kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Сегодня у меня не было настроения что-то в Saint Row.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Кстати, привет.
You seem surprised.
Тут что-то у меня,
Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vampire. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air.
Сука, что тут скажешь, блядь?
I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Пидорасы, блядь.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury.
Подожди, надо почитать, что ты там замодерировал. Вот так и скажи, говна покушать. Ага. Ну почему сразу говна покушаться, а? Ну за что ты так, а? Почему говна? Ну...
I remember you well,
Говна, ну,
in spite of the
блядь.
brevity of our encounter.
Хотелось чего-нибудь такого монотонненького, в меру интереснее. Видимо, слова плохие. Ну, конечно, плохие. YouTube говно не любит, понял? Слова плохие. Вот. Я рад вас.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy
Не
to
знаю, может Mass Effect 3
The
пройти,
pleasure
а?
is
Как ты
mine,
думаешь, а?
Doctor.
Может он
I
поинтереснее
hope you're more
будет этой
disposed to
хуйни?
answer my questions now.
Я просто хуй.
You must have countless
Или
questions,
Dark Souls,
but
блядь,
a rather
еще раз
urgent matter
заебал,
first.
нахуй.
Swansea has explained.
Третью часть, блядь.
My cover, if you prefer,
Не, почему
has
третью?
been compromised.
Надо первую проходить, першую.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could
Или
start by
прототип,
explaining
блядь,
what's
или
amiss.
чё? Или
These
чё-нибудь.
past
Или
insufferable weeks,
Singularity, вот что за
I've been the
история
victim of
такое.
extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
А, ну, не, ну список мы исполним по любасу. По любасу исполним. По любасу. Если, блядь, меня на работе, сука. Не, почему
Please
перебираю?
continue. Every detail
Это,
is
блядь,
essential.
так. Я перебираю. Не, почему я
My
не
embarrassment in
перебираю?
this matter
Пройдем
is
все
eclipsed only
обязательно.
by my
Просто,
shame
блин,
at having put the hospital at risk.
блядь, посмотри на
The
меня.
threat from our anonymous
На
scoundrel is
мою
clear.
рожу, блядь,
A list
страшно.
of
Ёбаный
dates.
в рот, блядь.
My visits
Это
coinciding with the
пиздец,
dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Да я
take
разберусь,
care of
да
it.
похуй.
Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about
заебан, блядь. Я всего лишь выпил кружку пива всего лишь выпил.
As others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion.
А прикольно,
I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test.
И руки хуйма.
When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Ну и что ты под кондишеном, блядь? Поговорить с Харриет. Кто ты, Харриет? Да не, я трезвый. А, кстати, как твой диплом? Не понял.
Good evening, Dr. Timmons.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Мне чуется, что ты напишешь, блядь. Как сказать? Ты это напишешь на...
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Goodbye, Dr. Timmons.
Piccoli. Da.
The pain.
Pain. I need my medication. What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, a new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern.
Хорошо слышно голос.
Where's Dr. Swansea?
Чисто, прекрасно.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient I gather.
Better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many violent.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call.
Вы что-то расследуете. Я расследую, как вы...
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
И в мире хуета. Это шо, блядь? В мире, блядь, хуета. Так, подождите, надо залутать шкафину. Мешочек скал. Поговорите с медсестрой Пипой Хокинс.
The patients and staff might know something.
Пипа
I'll start my...
Хокинс.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Добровч. Просить о странном педосителе.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Так, а что там Биба Хокинс хочет?
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Биба Хокинс. Где Биба Хокинс? Беатриче. Да, требуется Биба Хокинс. Ты кто? Стой, сука.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reid, you know. I met him in...
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reid?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate. And it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
О, привет.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Дороти Крейн.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Вампург. Вампарус. Тампатус. Ну, еще, наверное, полчасика их. Аре. Ну, не такая игрушка, чтобы я ее вот прям сохлеб стримил. А может быть интересно. Тогда проще, блядь, пройти мне Life is Strange, блядь. Да ну нахер такое, блядь. Хотя я, блядь, проходил. Не, така не треба спараж. Вампір, блядь. Ну да, да. А, значит, АСМР работает. АСМР есть, значит, АСМР. АСМР. Ну давай, АСМР, что ты не гонишься? Ну, сука, АСМР, наверное. АСМР потихоньку, да? Понятно. Короче, игра сказала бан. Ну, если она сказала бан, я что с этим делаю? Значит, надо ее вырубать. Так что не... Что-то мне... Короче, она вылетела к херам. Так что, ребятки, давайте, пожалуйста, заканчивать. Вижу, что никто ее смотреть не будет. Больше я, короче, стримить не буду. Всем спасибо за внимание, за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, комментируйте. Всем спасибо, всем удачи